Sairam, Sri Sai Charitra, Chapter 18 and 19. How Hemadban was accepted and blessed. Stories of Mr. Sade and Mr. Deshmukh. Encouraging good thoughts to fruition, variety in Upadesh teachings, readings, slander, and remuneration for labor. In the last two chapters, Hemadban described how a rich gentleman aspiring for quick Brahmanyana was treated by Baba, and now in these two chapters he describes how Hemadban himself was accepted and blessed by Baba, how Baba encouraged good thoughts and fructified them, and gives his teachings regarding self-improvement, slander, and remuneration for labor. Preliminary. It is well known fact that the Sadguru looks first to the qualification of his disciples and then gives them suitable instructions without unsettling their minds in the least, and leads them on towards the goal of self-realization. In this respect, some says that what the Sadguru teaches or instructs should not be divulged to others. They think that their instruction become useless if they are published. This view is not correct. The Sadguru is like a monsoon cloud. He pours down profusely, that is, scatters widely his nectar like teachings. These we should enjoy and assimilate to our heart content and then serve others with them without any reserve. This rule should apply not only to what he teaches in our waking state, but to the visions he gives us in our dreams. To quote an instant, Buddha Kaushik Rishi composed his celebrated Ram Rakshasostra, which he had seen in his dream, like a loving mother forcing bitter but wholesome medicines down the throats of her children for the sake of their health. Sai Baba imparted spiritual instruction to his devotees. His method was not veiled or secret but quite open. The devotees who followed his instruction got their objects. Sadgurus like Sai Baba open our eyes of the intellect and show us the divine beauties of self and fulfill our tender longings of the devotion. When this is done, our desire for sense objects vanishes. Twin fruits of viveka, discrimination, and vairagya, dispassion or non-attachment, come to our hands, and the knowledge sprouts up even in the sleep. All this we get when we come in contact with the saints Sadguru, serve them and secure their love. The Lord who fulfills the desires of his devotees come to our aid, removes our troubles and sufferings, and make us happy. This progress or development is entirely due to the help of the Sadguru, who is regarded as the Lord himself. Therefore, we should always be after the Sadguru, hear his stories, fall at his feet, and serve him. Now we come to our main story. Mr. Sade. There was a gentleman named Mr. Sade who had attained some publicity many years ago during Crowford regime, which was put down by Lord Ray, that the governor of the Bombay. He suffered severe losses in trade. Other adverse circumstances gave him much trouble and made him sad and dejected. Being restless, he thought of leaving home and going out to the distant place. Man does not generally think of God, but when difficulties and calamities overtake him, turns to him and prays for relief. If his evil actions have come to an end, God arranges his meeting with the saint who gives him proper directions regarding his welfare. Mr. Sade had a similar experience. His friends advised him to go to Shiradi, where so many people were flocking to get the Sai Baba darshan for getting peace in mind and satisfaction of their wants. He liked the idea and at once came to Shiradi in 1917. Seeing Baba's form, which was like eternal Brahma, self-luminous, spotless and pure, his mind lost his restlessness and became calm and composed. He thought that it was the accumulation of the merits in his former birth that brought him to the holy feet of Baba. He was a man of strong will. He at once started to make a Parayana study of Guru Charitra. The reading was finished in the Saptaha 7 days. Baba gave him a vision that night. It was to this effect. Baba, with Guru Charitra in his hand, was explaining its contents to Mr. Sade, who was sitting in front of the listening carefully. When he woke up, he remembered the dream and felt very happy. He thought that it was extremely kind of Baba, who awakens souls like his that are snoring in ignorance and makes the taste the nectar of Guru Charitra. Next day, he informed the Gaha Sahib Dishit of this vision and requested him to consult Sai Baba regarding his meaning of significance, whether one Sabda week reading was sufficient, whether he should begin again. Gaha Sahib Dishit, when got a suitable opportunity, asked Baba Deva, "Oh God, what did you suggest to Mr. Sade by this vision, whether he should stop or continue the Sabdaha?" He is a simple devotee, his desire and should be fulfilled, and the vision explained to him, and he should be blessed. The Baba replied he should make one more sabdaha of the book. If the work be studied carefully, the devotee will become a pure and will be benefited. The Lord will be pleased and will rescue him from the bondage of the none of the existence. At this time, Hemadband was present there. He was shampooing Baba's legs when he heard the Baba source his thought in his mind as follows. What Mr. Sade read for a week only and got a reward, and I am reading for 40 years with no result. His 7 days stay here becomes fruitful, while my 7 years stay 1910 to 1917 goes for nothing. Like a chatak bird, I am very ever waiting for the merciful cloud Baba to pour in a nectar on me and bless me with his instructions. No sooner did this thought cross his mind, Baba knew it then and there. It was the experience of the Bhaktas, and Baba read and understood all their thoughts, and that he suppressed the evil thoughts and encouraged the good ones. Reading Hemadband's mind, Baba at once asked him to get up, go to the Shama Madhavrao Deshpande, get from him the rupees 15 at Dakshana, sit and chit chat with him for a while, and then return. Mercy dawned in Baba's mind, and so he issued this order, and who could disobey Baba's order. Hemadband immediately left the masjid and came to Shama's house. He had just bathed and was wearing a dhoti. He came out and asked the Hemadband, how is it that you are here now? It seems that you have come from the masjid and dejected. Why are you alone? Please sit and rest while I shall just buy worship and return. In the meanwhile, please take the panvida leaves and betel nuts, etc. Let us then have a pleasant chat. After saying this, he went inside. The Hemadband sat alone in the front veranda. He saw in the window as well known the Marathi book named Nath Bhagavad. This is the commentary by the Saint Eknath on the 11th Skanda chapter of the bigger Sanskrit Vada Bhagavata. The suggestion of the recommendation of Sai Baba, who says Babu Sahib Jog and Gaga Sahib read daily in the Shiradi Bhagavad Gita, which is with its the Marathi commentary named Bhavarta Deepika or Jnaneshwari, a dialogue between the Krishna and his friend devotee Arjuna, Nada Bhagavad, a dialogue between the Krishna and his servant devotee Uddhava, and also the Eknath, other big work by Bhavarta Ramayana. When devotees came to Baba and asked him certain questions, he sometimes answered them in a part and asked them to go and listen to the readings of the above mentioned works, which are the main treatise of Bhagavad Dharma. When the devotees went and listened, they got full and satisfactory replies of the questions. Hemadband also used to read daily some portions of the book Nath Bhagavad. That day he did not complete the daily portion of his reading but had left the unfinished in order to accompany certain devotees who were going to the masjid. When he took up the book of the Shama's window and casually opened, if he found to his surprise that the unfinished portion turned up, he thought that the Baba sent him very kindly to the Shama's house of enabling him to complete his daily reading. So he went through the unfinished portion and completed. As soon as it was over, Shama, after doing his worship, came out and the following conversation took place between them. Hemadband, I have come with the message from Baba. He has asked me to return his rupees 15 dakshana from you. Also to sit with you for a while and have a pleasant chit chat and then return to the masjid with you. Shama, with surprise, I have no money to give. Take my 15 namaskaram bows in lieu of rupees of dakshana to Baba. Hemadband, alright, your namaskarams are accepted now. Let us have some chit chat. Tell me some stories and leelas of Baba which will destroy our sins. Shama, then sit here for a while. Wonderful in the sport leela of the god Baba. You know it's already. I am a village rustic. While you are enlightened citizen, you have seen some more of the leela since you are coming here. How should I describe them before you? Well, take these leaves, betel nut and chunam and eat the panvida while I go and dress myself and come out. In a few minutes, Shama come out and sat talking with Hemadband. He said the leela of this god Baba. He is incredible. There is no end of his leelas who can see them. He plays or sports with his leelas, still he is outside and affected them. Then he would rustic know. Why does not Baba himself tell stories? Why does he send learned men like you two fool like me? His ways are inconceivable. I can only say that they are not the human. With the preface, Shama added, I now remember a story which I shall relate to you. I know his personally as a devotee is resolute and determined. So it Baba's immediate response. Sometimes Baba put the devotees to serve test and then gives them Upadesh instructions. As soon as Hemadband heard the word of the Upadesh, a flash and light and crossed Through his mind, he at once remembered the story of the Mr. Sade Guru Charitra. Read the thought that the Baba might have sent him to the Shama in order to give peace to the restless of the mind. However, he curbed his feelings, began to listen to the Shama stories. They also allowed how kind of affectionate Baba was his devotees. Hemadvan began to feel a sort of joy while hearing them. The Shama began to tell the following story. Mrs. Radhabai Deshmukh. There was an old woman by the name of Radhabai. She was the mother of an Kashabai Deshmukh. Hearing Baba's fame, she came to Shiradi with the people of Sangam Ner. She took Baba's darshan and was much satisfied. She loved Baba intimately, resolved in her mind that she should accept Baba and her Guru and take some upadesh from him. She knew nothing else. She determined to fast herself unto the death. So long as Baba did not accept her and give her any upadesha mantra, she stayed in her lodging and left off taking any food and the water of the 3 days. I was frightened by this ordeal of the old woman and interceded with the Babas on her behalf. I said, Deva, with this you have started, you have dragged so many persons here. You know that the old lady, she is very obstinate and depends on you entirely. She has resolved to fast to the death. If you don't accept the instruct her, if anything worse happens, people will blame you and say that the Baba did not instruct her and consequently she met her death. So take some mercy on her, bless and instruct her. On seeing her determination, Baba sent for her, changed the tone of the mind of addressing her as follows. O mother, why are you subjecting yourself to unnecessary tortures and hastening your death? You are really my mother and I am your child. Take pity on me and hear me through. I tell you my own story, which if you listen carefully will do you good. I have a Guru. I was a great saint and most merciful. I served him long, very long. Still he could not blow on the mantra in my ears. I can keen desire never to leave him but to stay and serve him and all. To all the cause received some instructions from him, but he had his own ways. First got the head shaved and asked me 2 pieces of dakshana and gave same at once. If you say that my Guru was perfect, why should he ask the money and how should he call the desireless? I replied painfully that he never cared the coins. What had he to do with him? It is 2 pieces were firm faith and patience on the perseverance. I gave these 2 pieces of things to him and he was pleased. I resorted to my Guru for 12 years. He brought me up. There was no dearth of food and clothing. He was fully of love, nay, he was love incarnate. How can I describe it? He loved me most rare in Guru like him. When I looked at him, it seemed as if as a deep meditation, and then we both were filled with bliss. Night and day I gazed with thee. No thought of the hunger and thirst without him. I felt restless. I had no other objects to medicate, not any other thing than my Guru to attend. He was my sole refuge. My mind was always fixed on him. This is 1 piece of dakshana, saburi, patience or perseverance. In the other piece, I waited patiently and very long. My Guru assured him the saburi will ferry you across sea of the mundane existence. Saburi is mainless in man. It removes all the sins and affections, gets rid of calamities in various ways, casts aside all the fear and ultimately gives you success. Saburi is the mind of virtues, consort of good thought, nishtha, faith, and saburi patience are like twin sisters loving each other very intimately. My Guru never expected any other thing for me. He never neglected me but protected me at all times. I lived with him and was sometimes away from him. Still, I never felt that the want and absence of his love. He always protected me by his glance, just as a tortoise feeds her young ones, whether they are near her or away from her on the other side of the river bank, by her loving looks. Oh mother, my Guru never taught me any mantra, and how shall I blow my mantra in your ears? Just remember that Guru Tata is like loving glance, gives us happiness. Do not try to get mantra on upadesh from anybody. Make me the sole objects of our thoughts and actions, and you will no doubt attain Paramartha, the spiritual goal of life. Looking me wholeheartedly and in turn into look at you similarly sitting in the masjid. I speak the truth, nothing but the truth. No sadhanas nor proficiency in the 6 shastras are necessary. Have faith and confidence in your Guru. Believe fully the Guru is the sole actor or dirt blessed in who knows the greatness of the Guru and think him to be a Harihara and Brahma Tirumurti incarnate. Instructed in this way, the old lady was convinced. She bowed to Baba and gave up her fast. Hearing the story carefully, attentively, and mocking its significance and appropriateness, Hemadban was most agreeably surprised. Seeing this wonderful Leela of Baba, he was moved from his top to toe. He was overflowing with joy His throat was choked and he was able to utter a single word. Shama, on seeing him to this condition, asked him, "What is the matter with you? Why are you silent? How many innumerable Leelas of Baba shall I describe?" Just at the time of the bell in the masjid began to ring, proclaiming that the non-option of the Arati ceremony and began. Therefore, the Shaman Ahmad bin hurried on the masjid. Babu Sahib joked and just started the worship. Women were up in the masjid. Men were standing below in the open courtyard, and they were also loudly singing in the Arati in chorus to the accompaniment of the drums. Shama went up, pulling Ahmad bin with him. He front of Baba. On seeing them, Baba asked Ahmad bin to give the dakshina brought from Shama. He prayed that Shama gave namaskarams in the lieu of rupees and that he was there is in a person. Baba said, "All right, now let me know whether you both had the chit chat, and if so, tell me all that you talked about." Not minding the sounds of the bell, the drum, and the chorus songs, Ahmad bin was eager to tell what they had talked and started to narrate. Baba was also anxious to hear, and so he left the bolster and leaned forward. Ahmad bin said all they talked about very pleasant, and especially the story of the old lady was most wonderful. And then on hearing it, he thought that his Leela was inexplicable, and under the guise of the story, he really blessed him. Baba then said, "Wonderful is the story. How were you blessed? I would like to know everything in detail from you. So tell me all about it." Then Ahmad related in full the story which he had heard a little while before and which he had made a lasting impression on his mind. Hearing his Baba was much pleased and asked him, "Did the story strike you, and did you catch its significance?" He replied, "Yes, Baba, restlessness of mine has vanished and I have got a true peace and rest and come to know the true path." The Baba spoke as follows: "The method is quite unique. Remember well this one story, and it is very beautiful. To get the knowledge of realization of the self, dhyana meditation is necessary. If you practice it continuously, the vrittist thoughts will be pacified. Being quite desireless, should meditate the Lord who is in all the creatures, and when the mind is concentrated, goal will be achieved. Meditate always on my formless nature, which is knowledge, incarnate consciousness, and bliss. If you cannot do this, meditate by the form and top to toe as well as see, hear night and day. As you go on doing this, your vrittis will concentrate on one point, and distinction between the dhyata meditated, dhyana act of meditation, Dhyeya, the meditated upon will be the last, and meditator will be the one of the consciousness, and we merged in the Brahman. The mother tortoise is on the bank of the river, and her young ones on the other side. She gives neither milk nor warmth to them. Her mere glance gives them nutrition. Do nothing but remember, meditate upon their mother. The tortoise glance into the young ones, the downpour of the nectar, the only source of the sustenance and happiness, similar in the relation between the Guru and the disciples. When Baba uttered these last words, the chorus of the Aarti song stopped, and all cried out loudly in our own voice, "Victory be to our Sadguru Sai Maharaj, who is existence, knowledge, and bliss." Dear readers, let us imagine that we are in the time standing among the crowd in the masjid, and let us join them in the Jaya Jaya Jayakar. After the Arati ceremony was over, Prasad was distributed. Babu Sahib Jog advanced as usual, and after salting, Baba gave his hand a handful sugar candy. Baba pushed on his quantity into the hands of Ahmad bin, said to him, "If you take this story to the heart, remember it well, your state will be sweet, and the sugar candy, all your desires will be fulfilled, and you will be happy." Ahmad bin bowed before Baba and implored, "Do favor me like this. Bless and protect me always." Baba replied, "Hear this story, meditate on it and assimilate its spirit. Then you will always remember and meditate on the Lord who will manifest himself to you." Dear readers, Ahmad bin got prasad of the sugar candy, and then we know the prasad of the sugar candy of the nectar of the story. Let us drink it to our heart content, meditate on it and assimilate it, and be strong and happy by the Baba's grace. Amen. Towards the end of the 19th chapter, Ahmad bin had dealt with some other matters which are given below. Baba advised regarding our behavior. The following words of Baba are general, invaluable. If they are kept in the mind and acted upon, there will always do you good. Unless there is some relationship or connection, nobody goes anywhere. If any men and the creatures comes to you, do not discourteously drive them away, but receive them well and treat them with due respect. Shri Hari, God will be certainly pleased if you give water to the thirsty. bread to the hungry, clothes to the naked, and you veranda to strangers for sitting and resting. If anybody wants any money from you and you are inclined to give, do not give, but do not bark at him like a dog. Let anybody speak hundreds of things against you. Do not reason by giving any bitter reply. If you always tolerate such things, you will certainly be happy. Let the world go topsy turvy. You remain where you are standing or staying in your own place. Look at calmly at the show of all things passing before you. Demolish the wall of the difference and separates you from me. And then the road of your meeting will be clear and open. The sense of differentiation as I and thou is the barrier and keeps away and the disciple from this matter. Unless that is destroyed, the state of the union atonement is not possible. Allah Malik, that is God, is the sole proprietor. Nobody else is our protector. His method of the work extraordinary, invaluable, instructable. It will be done. It will show us the way and satisfy our heart desires. It is on the account of a Dinanubandhan former relationship. When we have come together, let us love and serve each other happy. He who attained the supreme goal of life is immortal and happy, and all other merely exist so long as we breathe. Encouraging good thoughts of fruition. Baba encourage good thoughts. You have to surrender yourself completely to him with love and devotion, and they you will see how he helps you off and on in so many things. Some saint has said that when you get a good thought immediately after awakening from sleep, and if you develop the same afterwards during the day, your intellect will be unfolded and your mind will attain calmness. Ahmadban wanted to try this. On one Wednesday night before going to the bed, he thought, tomorrow is the Thursday, a auspicious day, and the place which is Shiradi is so holy, so let me pass the whole day in remembering and chanting Ramanama. And then he slept. Next morning when he got up to remember without any effort the name of the Rama as much, and I was much pleased. He then, after finishing his morning duties, went to the see Baba with the flowers, and when he left the Dikshit Wada and was just passing the Buddhist Wada Prasan Samadhi Mandir, heard a beautiful song that was being sung nicely. One of the Aurangabadkar in the masjid before Baba's song was Guru Kribanchan Bayo Mary Bai etc. by Eknath, in which he says that he got colorium in the form of the Guru's grace, which opened with the vision and made him to see Rama in and out, in sleep, dream, and waking state, and everywhere. There were so many songs, and why wasn't song particularly chosen by Aurangabadkar of the devotee of Baba? It is not a curious coincidence arranged by the Baba to feed the determination of Ahmadban to sing unceasingly Ramanama during the day. All saints agree on and lay stress upon the efficacy of the uttering Rama's God name in fulfilling the ambitions of the Bhaktas and protecting and saving them from all calamities. Variety in Upadesh, slanderer condemned. Sai Baba required no special place nor any special time for giving instruction whenever any occasion demanded. Freely once it so happened that the Bhakta of Baba revealed another behind before other people. On leaving aside merits, he dwelt on the faults of the brother and spoke sarcastically that the hearers were discouraged. Generally, we see the people have a tendency to scandalize others unnecessarily, and it brings hatred and ill will. Saints see scandal in another light. They say that there are the variety ways of cleansing and removing dirt by means of earth, water, and soap, but the scandal monger has got a way on his own. He removes the dirt other in the tongue. So in a way of obliges of the person when he reveals, and for this he is to thank Sai Baba and his own method of correcting the scandal monger. He knew by this omniscience and the slanderer had done, and when he met him at noon near the Lendi, Baba pointed out to him pig that was eating fifth near the fence and said to him, behold how with what relish in the gorging dung your conduct is similar. You go on revealing your own brethren to your heart's content after performing many deeds of merit. You are born a man, and if you act like this, will she really help you in any way? Less to say that the Bhakta took the lesson to his heart and went away. In this way, Baba went on giving instructions whenever necessary. If these are born in our minds on the acted upon the spiritual goal, realization is not far off. This is a proverb which says, if there be by hurry, he will be feed on my cart. This proverb is only true in respect of food and clothing, but if anyone trusting in this, it's quiet and does not spiritual matters, he will be ruined. One has exerted himself to its utmost for attaining self-realization. The more he endeavors, better for him. Baba said that he was omnipresent, occupying an air, country, world, earth and heaven, and that he was not limited. To remove the misunderstanding of those who thought that the Baba was only his body 3 cubits half in length, he incarnated himself in this form, and if any devotee meditated on him day and night with complete self surrender, he experienced complete reunion without any difference with him, like sweetness and sugar waves in the sea ice and its luster. He who wants to get rid of the cycle of the birth and death should lead the right is a life which in mind calm composed. He should always engage himself in good action, should do in the duties and surrender himself heart and soul to him. He need not then be afraid anything. You trust himself entirely hears and expounds his Leela, does not like anything else, is sure to attain self-realization. Baba asked many to remember his name, to surrender to him. To those who wanted to know they were who I am in inquiry, he advised Shravanam study and Manana meditation. To some he advised remembrance of the God's name, to others hearing his Leelas, to some worshiping his feet, to others reading and studying Adhyatma Ramayana and Yaneshwari and other sacred scriptures. Some he made sit near his feet, some he sent to the Kandobas temple, and some he advised the repetition of the thousands names of the Vishnu, and some of the study Chandogya, Upanishad and Gita. There were no limit nor restrictions to his instruction. To some he gave them in the person, to others by visions in dreams. To one addicted to drink, he appeared in his dream on his chest pressed. He left him after he gave promise to touch the liquor anymore. To some they explained some mantras like Guru Brahma in dreams. To some devotee who was practicing Hatha Yoga, he sent word that he should leave of the Hatha Yoga practices, sit quiet and wait Saburi. It is impossible to describe all his ways and methods on ordinary worldly dealings, set examples by his actions, one of which is given below. Remuneration for labor. One day at noon, Baba came near Radhakrishna Mai's house and said, "Bring me a ladder." Some men brought it and get it against a house as directed by the Baba. He climbed upon the roof of the Vaman Gonkar house, passed on the roof of the Radhakrishna Mai's house, and then he got down from the other corner. What objects Baba had, none could know. Radhakrishna Mai was at that time shivering with malaria. It may be drive of that fever. He may have gone there immediately after getting down. Baba paid rupees 2 to the persons who brought the letter. Somebody asked Baba why he paid so much for this. He replied that nobody should take the labor of the others in vain. The worker should be paid his dues promptly and liberally. Bow to Shri Sai and peace to be all. Bow to Shri Sai and peace to be all.